Hello guys, welcome to my second part of my story where I share the story of my friends who gave me support during my journey with breast cancer. And these friends have been with me for the last 10 years and they're sharing their stories. So this is the second part. The first part, Paris, Claire and Faith share their stories. And in this part I have Flora, Josephine and Nora sharing their stories. And so welcome and join us in this journey or in these stories. And before that, if you've not subscribed to my channel, kindly click on that subscription button, like and comment and share this channel. So welcome and enjoy yourselves.
Hello.
So like I've said, this is Flora.
Yeah.
And this is my philosophical friend. When I say philosophical, I mean philosophical.
Yes.
So I just want Flora to share what her journey was, how it was for her to learn that I had cancer, and how she was able to support me, and how you, my viewer, can support someone who's going through the same journey.
Yeah, thank you so much, Winnie, for inviting us to your show. We're very honored to be here this evening to support you in this. And as Winnie said, for me, I was that friend who just wanted to find out, has Winnie eaten today? Does Winnie have everything that she requires? Has she gone for a second, a third, and a fourth opinion if need be? And I think that is very critical for any patient who's been given a diagnosis and needs that reassurance that indeed whatever treatment regimen they'll be going through, that they are sure that there's consistency in what they have been diagnosed with. So it was, as everyone has mentioned in our support group, it came initially as a shock. It was a shock to everyone, but I think as many have said, they readjusted to the fact that Winnie needed our support. And I think for us, the first thing that was a big driver for us was that we love Winnie. We first love Winnie. And so when Winnie gave us this information, for us, it was really a spur of action. So as you've noted with as a common thread with most of the people that have spoken, many of us are gifted differently. And I think for me, I play that mother hen role where I want to make sure, oh, do you have a warm blanket to cover you after the treatment? Do you have food? Do you have every basic need that you have? And also coming from a medical perspective, I understand clearly the fact that even with such a diagnosis, not only do you need to calm the patient, mentally, but you also need to ensure that her psychological, her emotional status, and everything is up to par. Because only then can you get the compliance that you would wish for them to have, even as they go through radiation or they go through chemotherapy. So I guess for me, the strength that I brought to the support system was just being able to be there for her in totality, in whatever she needed, from the most basic to the most complex. And I'm so glad and I'm so happy, Winnie, that you gave me that opportunity to be there for you. You made yourself vulnerable for us to even reach you from that kind of a level.
So Josephine, welcome. How are you?
Thank you, Winnie.
So this is my very good friend Josephine, and she's really walked the journey with me. You see those people you call at midnight when they're asleep and you're telling them like, Josephine, I can't take this anymore, and they're there for you. So Josephine, thanks very much. So Josephine was among the first people that I informed that I could be having breast cancer because I had found a lump. Josephine, how was that?
Thank you, Winnie. So I was able to work with Winnie this journey because I had also had a scare, and I had a lump in 2019, actually 2018, 2019, and I felt that I needed to see a specialist, a breast specialist, because I used to have pain on my left breast. So whenever I had pain, I would get scared, because any pain that comes with the breast is something that makes you worried. So I decided to see a breast specialist who was able to do several diagnoses. One, I went through a scan, an ultrasound. After an ultrasound was done, then I was sent to the lab. A sample was collected. Yeah, it's called an FNA. The FNA was taken and diagnosis was done that whatever the lump that I had was called a fibroadenoma. So when I shared this story with the group, actually the entire group, when Winnie felt that she had a lump in her breast, she actually called me and told me that I feel there's something in my left breast. And I told her, I asked her how she felt, and she told me that she felt the lump and she was not in any pain. So having gone through the same experience and knowing that any lump in the breast normally raises questions and even makes you worried, I decided to advise her, and she was able to see the breast specialist who saw me also at that time when I had the same lump, and she was able to go and see the specialist, and she was taken through different diagnostic tests, and that's why by the time now the diagnosis was coming out to be cancer, she was able to adhere to the treatment as required, and that's why we are really proud of her, that the journey she has taken, it is not a journey of the faint-hearted. Being diagnosed with breast cancer is like a death sentence, but when you look at, so the bravery Winnie had is out of this world. Being diagnosed with breast cancer is something that makes you get confused, is like immediately you get worried, and when you're a mother, you have a family and children, normally we start thinking about our children, our family, what will happen to my children, what will happen to my family. But I like the way she came out so strong. She was able to face the treatment that she went through, and now being diagnosed and being declared cancer-free is something that we really appreciate, and we thank God. And the most important part is how she clung to God, which is something that is quite profound to me, because the word of God encourages us that whenever we are into or we have any problems, the only person who can be able to be a shelter is the Lord and God, our God, the Lord Jesus Christ, who died on the cross for us. And I think that is quite profound, that we should not run to man. Of course, having a support system is very important, but having God with you, walking the journey with you, is very important. So Winnie, I really want to say you are a brave woman. We really admire you. We admire you, and we pray that everyone who is watching this video will be encouraged by Winnie's journey. Winnie's having faced through the cancer treatment with so much, so much. Yeah, so what I wanted to tell our viewers is that not all lumps are cancerous. If anyone has any lump, the best thing is to see a doctor so that they can be able to get a diagnosis, and so that whatever interventions have to be done, it will be done at an earlier phase, because as you know, that cancer is a disease whereby the body cells keep changing in terms of metastasis. And so the most important thing is to visit a doctor, whether there is pain or there is no pain. It is very important for one to see a doctor so that they can be able to get a diagnosis, and that not all lumps are cancerous. Some are just lumps that come because of hormonal imbalance in our bodies, and so with time, like the fibroadenomas, with time they disappear as one continues to age. Thank you so much, Winnie, for inviting me into your show.
Ma'am. So this is our Major, Nora Koech. And as you heard, I called her mom. She wears so many coats in my life. She's my mother. She's my friend. She's my confidant. So for her, she wears so many coats in my life. And I am very privileged to have a mother who is your friend. In most cases, even if you tell my children, we are not friends, I'm your mother. But for her, she's my mother and she's my friend. And I remember, this is a person that I really got vulnerable to. I remember so many people never saw me crying, but she's the person who hugged me when I really felt like I can't take this anymore. When I felt like it was weighing me down. And she walked the journey with me, and she really made it easy for me. She's that person who would come home without calling me. She'd just walk in and ask me. I remember the time she found me asleep in the seat and she was like, wake up. So Mom, I just want you to share how was the journey, how it really affected you, because having a daughter going through this, how it affected you, and what you can encourage someone else who's going through such a situation. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. She talks as if I am one of those people who are devoid of emotions at that time. But trust me, no, I was a mess when she had to. She actually did tell me about it. I learned this from one of our friends, who is also very close to her, Josephine. And she told me that Winnie does not want to tell you this, but this is what she's going through. So I wake up very early in the morning to call her, and I'm wondering what to tell her. Because there's so many things that are running through my mind. But I just, 6 o'clock, I'm calling her, and she picks her call, and on the other side, she's very jovial. Hi Mom, how is it doing? And I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute. Who am I speaking to? She's so positive, and she's talking about the diagnosis as if it's not a big deal. So we had no option but to pick up from where she was. She was already positive about it. And that really set the pace for the whole journey. We had to be positive, we had to run with her, we had to walk with her the journey, because we knew, she believed that she's gonna beat the cancer. And that was the most important thing. And then she came home to talk to us about the diagnosis. And I remember my husband telling her, Winnie, it is about you. This is your life. You will have to take the lead. We will not make decisions for you. You have to take the lead, and we will support you. And to take the lead, she did. She did research. We supported her. She had all information that was needed. And as much as we were scared as a family, because we know the background, her mother died of cancer, her father died of cancer. So for us as a family, there's that thing, there's that scare, there's that fear that this could be another death sentence. But the support system, even outside the family, the people who have beat cancer spoke to us. There were so many positive stories out there that changed our mindset. Medicine has evolved. I know there's so many people who have lost relatives to cancer before. And I think our readers should, our viewers should know this, that medicine has evolved, and we have a better system. We have a better healthcare system than we did in the past. And now we can beat this thing. It is no longer a death sentence. It is no longer the monster that we thought it was. So with all these positive stories and with the positive mindset that Winnie had, it was easier for us as a family to rally behind her. There's so many myths that are going behind, especially in our community, that cancer, people should not go under the knife, which is surgery and all that. And these are some of the things and the mindsets that have had so many of our people die of cancer. What we want to say, seek medical attention. Let your doctor be your friend. Listen to them. That is why they're here. God does not want, it is not anyone's, it is not God's will that you die before your time. let us seek medical advice. If you have a lump, see a doctor and follow the prescriptions of a doctor. This is no longer the time of, oh, this is witchcraft, this is what. We have to accept. So many people who have accepted early diagnosis, early treatment, have beat this thing. And my daughter here has proven. Because so many people called her, so many people called us as a family. Please don't let Winnie go under the knife. Please don't let Winnie go under the knife. But she was informed. She had done her research. And she was the one who was telling us, you know what? I know what is supposed to be done, and I'm going to do the right thing. So those people who are telling you not to go under the knife, those who didn't go under the knife, where are they? Winnie went through proper medical care. She went through the chemotherapy and then surgery, and then later she was pronounced cancer-free. So it is very important that we get out of this traditional mindsets that are coming from people who are not medical professionals in any way. We have lost way too many people unnecessarily because of ignorance. It's about time we preach the message, the gospel of seek proper medical advice.
So there you have it, guys. You've heard their stories, you've heard their journey, you've heard how they were able to encourage me, how they walked the journey with me. So I just think it's really, really important to have a support system. And if you have a friend who's going through cancer, and if they've reached out to you, kindly don't just take it that they just told you. It's not something that you enjoy to share with people. It's something you share with people so that they can walk with you. So if someone reaches out and tells you that I have cancer, or they send someone, know that those people need support. Remember that a journey, when you go to a journey on your own, you'll go fast. But when you go with people, you'll go far. And these people were able to help me reach this far that I am now, that I'm recording this video. And as you've heard from their stories, it's really, really, really important to have that support system, because you realize that there are things that I didn't even know, things that I didn't understand. Sometimes there are things that I couldn't do, but because they were there for me, I was able to go through this journey. And also when I felt lost, not knowing some things, they were able to get clarifications for me, and they were able, even I remember some of them accompanied me for chemotherapy sessions and my clinics, and it really helped me to go a long way. So guys, and if you are out there and you feel that you are alone in this journey, it's always good to allow people into your space. Just like I shared in an earlier video, that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to have cancer. It's not a curse. It's not that you sinned. You remember in the Bible, the person who was blind, and the disciples were asking that this person's sin for them to be blind, but Jesus told them, no, it's for me to be glorified, or it's for God to be glorified. You might be going through this journey and you feel like, oh, maybe there's something that was done. You did nothing. So you need to allow people into space, allow yourself to be vulnerable. Because if you're not vulnerable to people, there's no way. If I hadn't reached out to these people, I don't think they would have come, because they would have feel like they are invading into my space. So allow people to walk the journey with you. And also do not lose your faith. You know, sometimes you're put into I remember when I just found myself in this situation, and it was really tough for me. And when I reached out to them, they were able to encourage me. I remember there are days I couldn't pray, and I would tell them, I'm not able to pray, and they would hold my hand. So if you're out there, allow people into your space. And I remember one time I told you, it's not everyone you allow into your space. The people you know that they can walk with you, the people you know that they can help you in different ways. We are all able differently, and so are your friends. You'll have someone else who will know. She'll not be there like always, but she will be there, like for example, to accompany you to hospital. Then there's that person who will be available at beck and call. They will be with you. So Let's allow people into our spaces so that they are able to walk our journey with us and to give us the support that we need. And also remember, just like Josephine said, not all lumps are cancerous. And if you are out there today, you've been diagnosed with cancer, know that you can make it. Cancer is not a death sentence. It's just something that makes us stronger and better. Thank you so much. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do so. And also like, share, and leave your comments on topics that you'd like us to share in future. May God bless you.